Hi guys, today I would like to speak to you about how do I word this? Having maybe a moment or more when you look back at your old work, your writing, blogs, videos, whatever, where you're kind of like, I don't know if I feel that way anymore, and you feel a little uncomfortable. Uncomfortable. Gives you a moment of pause, and you're like, oh, I don't know if I feel that way anymore, and I've seen it in my videos, I've seen it in my blogs, I've seen it in my books. I recently picked up one of my books and there was something that stood out to me. I'm like, oh God, oh, cringe. Why did I put that? But I mean, of course, we grow, we change, and over time, our opinions change. And, when I first started writing, my view was probably here and over time, and to the point now, I'm not even sure if I want to expand it this much because I see what's going on in the world so cynically, quite honestly, um, that I just don't know how I feel about it. Mind you, if you've read any of my writing previously, you know I probably already was a little bit cynical about governments, big corporations, big pharma. Ugh, don't even talk to me about big pharma. But so some things haven't changed, but then, I'll see things and I don't like to get into political stuff. I do want to, no, that's not true. I do like to get into political stuff, but I don't like to be labeled politically. And it seems like today, if you have a certain point of view, you're right, you're left, you're a lunatic, you're a psychopath, whatever. Like they have you labeled, categorized, and which nobody really wants that. Although in some cases, people do fully fit in those categories. That's problematic in itself, like the fact that you're going along with something just because your team likes it or your team doesn't, or the other team doesn't, I should say. I just don't like to get into any of that specifics. That's why in my books I don't, I have politics, but I don't say which political party I'm talking about that's running the country or the opposition or anything. I just kind of label them as so and kind of avoid saying which is what. But anyway, but I do definitely have different views about the world than I did even when I started the Hernandez series till now. Like I say, I see things now I kind of cringe. And I know people grow, and that's normal. That's normal. Hopefully, I mean, you should be growing. Like your views should be opening up, and you should be investigating and looking at the world a little more. Some people don't. Let's be honest, a lot of people don't. We see that all around us, and the people who do kind of like it's annoying, but it's normal to grow as a person, and I guess that's why now I look at some stuff, and it's probably one of the reasons why, one of the many, that I haven't started writing another book yet. And I know I keep saying I'm gonna, but just haven't felt right. And I can't say that I've ever felt that way before. Since I started writing, it's been very limited time that maybe I did not think it's a good time to start another book. Usually it's automatic, especially for my series. But I just kind of stalled after the last book, which was, I thought I had it in here, but I don't. I actually have pictures of my book covers. Isn't that strange? I found them somewhere. That's a whole other story. And I thought, it was off a calendar, actually. I was going to get into all that, but I cut them out and I was going to throw the calendar away. It's kind of nice if I'm talking about a book and I don't have the book nearby. You still have these, and now I don't have the one that I want. So, anyways, my last book, Everybody Wants to Rule the World. After that, I just kind of took a pause, and I've been pausing ever since. But I have been thinking, and I feel like if I were to write another book in the series, which I probably, if I was to write, would do so, it's going to take a bit of a turn. I have some thoughts. But having said that, I don't know. Sometimes I look back and I think, oh, how did I write that? And I guess other authors do too. I know some authors can't read their writing over time, as time passes, I should say. And I don't know. I'm just kind of curious what other people think. Whether you're a writer, another artist. I'm looking out the window because there's a cat walking across my yard. And that's why I'm recording the video. Anyway, we have visitor kitties here. Which is great. Yeah, so I don't know. I'm just wondering if other people feel that way. Other writers are other art, and then not even that. As a human being, not even involved with your work or anything. Do you ever like, wow, I used to think this way. It takes a very strong person to say, I used to think that way, but I don't feel that way anymore, and this is why. But I find a lot of people kind of slither away. They're like, well, this is the way it is, and then when something comes along that kind of proves maybe they weren't in the right track, they're just kind of, what? So, anyways, which is fine. That's just people. That's just human nature. But I am just curious, and I know I'm rambling at this point, if anybody else has experienced that in whatever they do, whether it's a creative endeavor or not. Um, and I guess to also state that maybe something, if you ever see something in my books and you're like, wow, that sounds different from, the kind of stuff I see here on saying on social media now, or stating, it's probably because I feel differently. And I don't want to feel like a hypocrite, because I feel like people say one thing and do the other all the time. I don't like to do that. I really check myself on that. So I will say that there's many things but I'd have to rewrite all my books in order to change it now, and it would be totally different. And I have thought about redoing my videos. I don't know, maybe I should just leave them the way they are. I was going to do them in accordance to how I feel now, but then I'm like, I don't know. And it's a lot of good hair days that I probably will never have again. Um, yeah, so I just, it's because it's vain, but you want to look half decent when you do a video, and that's about as good as it gets some days. But I still, um, no, but seriously, it just would be a lot of work, and I don't know, but I am thinking about it seriously, because I don't know if I feel the same way, and not even like, opinion. It made me just where my opinion grew. I guess I could just do another, and I have done this in the past. Where okay, I did this in the past. This is the video that's kind of the updated version. But I don't know. What do you guys think? And have you ever felt that way in any aspect of your life? Anyways, I'm gonna stop rambling. I gotta do stuff today. Have a great day, guys. Thank you.